If you have been considering or are planning on buying a home this year, I wanted to give you three reasons why getting pre-approved for your home loan first before you start shopping for a home is a smart thing to do. Hi, this is Andrew with the Andrew Smith team at eXp Realty. And over the last few weeks, we have spent time talking about how strong the real estate market not only is, but is expected to be throughout 2020. You may have seen the news this week that mortgage interest rates hit a 50-year low, down at 3.35% or 3.375%, very, very low, which means more people are going to jump into the market. They're going to react to that news, and more home buyers are going to come into the market. At the same point in time, the amount of homes, the number of homes for sale, the amount of inventory has been falling for the past few months, which means things are going to get very competitive, and the market overall is going to continue to favor sellers. So with that in mind, I wanted to give you three reasons why getting that pre-approval in advance is key. And it is a pre-approval. It's not a pre-qualification, and there is a difference. A pre-qualification basically just means that you spoke to a lender on the phone, you gave them some basic information, and based on what you've told them, they say, yeah, you should be good, excuse me, you should be good to get a loan. A pre-approval, on the other hand, means that they've already reviewed your income. You've provided W-2s, tax returns, bank statements, and they've actually input all of your information into a computer in order to get what is known as a DU approval, or an automated approval. That is much better and stronger than a pre-qualification, which brings us to reason number one. And that is to gain a competitive advantage over other potential offers. So when I'm listing a home and we receive an offer on that listing and I meet with the sellers, yes, we look at price. We look at the overall terms, what the down payment is, when closing is, how much of a earnest money deposit they're putting down. But we really start to zero in on financing. What type of financing is the buyer using? And do they have an approval in place? Has it all been checked out? Because in this competitive market, when a seller enters into a contract with someone, they would like to have a high probability, or the highest probability possible, that that transaction is actually going to close. So getting that pre-approval done in place can give you a competitive advantage over another offer that comes in that doesn't have all of that already lined up. Number two, you can actually accelerate the buying process. And here's what I mean. As mentioned, we also look at escrow timing, or closing time frame, when we look at an offer. Well, if you have all of your financing in place and you're approved simply subject to title and your appraisal and a couple other minor items that the lender needs, it means that you're able to close that transaction faster. And if you happen to have a seller that is in a hurry to move where they're going to, or they've got another house they want to buy but they need to act quickly, being able to respond to that time frame or comply with that time frame is going to put you in a better position, and you're able to close that transaction faster than you would otherwise. And number three, this one seems really basic, but it's one that catches a lot of people off guard, and has, that I've experienced over the years. And it gives you the confidence to know what you can actually afford and borrow before you start. There have been many, many times when we've had a call from a buyer and said they want to start looking at homes and they'd like to be set up on a search to see new properties. So that's great. What price range are you looking in? And they'll give us a price range, and we'll ask the question, how did you come up with that number? Well, it just seems like the right number. Based on what? Sometimes that gut feeling on what you can afford is right. You're going to be fairly close. Other times it can be very off. I've had people think they could afford X dollars and it was actually substantially less than that. I've had other people think that they could only afford a home that was priced, here, and they could actually afford a home that was priced here, and the payments were still in line with what they were expecting to pay monthly. So having that confidence and that knowledge going in is going to put you in a much better position overall. So hopefully those three tips you find helpful, especially as I said, if you're in the market for a new home this year. If you have any questions or you need a referral for a good lender, please reach out. I'm more than happy to answer those questions and provide you that referral with some trusted partners that we have that we know can perform as you expect them to.